Hello, everyone. Welcome again. In this session, we have three research paper presentation. First one will be starting soon, and this one will be delivered Nasrin Sultana Sheila, behavior therapist, Inner Circle Private Limited. And in this session, we have Dr. Afroza Hussain ma'am with us, and she will be coordinating in this session. So now I would like to request Nasrin Sultana Sheila to start your presentation.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. Assalamu alaikum and good morning, everyone. Welcome to my session. I'm Nasrin Sultana Sheila. I am an industrial organizational psychologist and currently I'm working at Inner Circle as a behavior therapist. So let me share my screen and I will start my presentation. So is my screen visible?
Yes.
So the topic of my paper is factors influencing consumer decision-making for personal care products. Actually, personal care products is a huge industry. It worth more than $250 billion worldwide. Even in Bangladesh, according to a report of Japan Bangladesh Business Center, it worth more than 4,000 crore. So in this industry, we can see lots of advertisements. Some of them focuses on the sale. For example, you can get lakhs now, 5 taka less, 10 taka less. You can get one free if you buy one, this type of things. We can also see emphasis on quantity. On packaging, for example, marketers say that you can get 20% more now, and this type of things. So what we wanted to know is that what the consumers think, what factors actually affects the consumers when they make a decision about buying a product. So we can see this is a model of consumer decision making given by John Dewey. So in this model, actually, he says that there are 3 steps according to which a consumer makes a decision. First, the input. In case of input, the firm's marketing effort, or that means the price, the promotion, these things influences the consumer. And also the socio-cultural environment, that means the social status, the income of the consumer. Then in the process section, his psychological field or thinking, his personality pattern, his experience, everything affects the need recognition. That means when the consumer understands or realizes that he needs a product, the pre-purchase search, after the consumer identifies that, yes, I need, for example, a shampoo or a soap, then he or she starts searching for the product. There are lots of product in the market. So he starts searching for the appropriate product for himself. And then comes the evaluation of alternatives. That means he judges or compares between different alternatives and then makes a decision to purchase one and not purchase the others. So my study actually focused on the pre-purchase search and the evaluation of alternatives on these 2 steps. How the consumer or what factors affects the consumers, influences the consumers when he or she does this pre-purchase search and when he evaluates the alternatives and ultimately makes a decision to purchase. So let's see what are personal care products. So in this study, personal care products actually includes lots of different types of products. It can be cleansing products like soap, shampoo. It can be styling products like hair gel, cream, shaving products, moisturizing products like cream, lotion, nail polish, perfume, and makeup products, eyeshadow, eyeliner, this type of thing. So all of them actually are under the personal care products. So in this study, I have considered 6 factors. So the first is specialized products. Specialized products means the products that are made for specific type of skin or hair. For example, Dove is good for dry skin. Neutrogena is good for oily skin. This type of things. The specialization, what the product claims to do. The characteristics of products means the packaging of the product, the quantity, and the ingredients that it has, the origin of the country the product comes from, this type of things. Expensive or branded products, of course, there are lots of famous brands like Unilever, like L'Oreal. So these there are some people who only considers the brand and who has the loyalty towards specific brands and likes to use the branded products. Then comes the new product. There are some consumers who we call innovative consumers who likes to use different types of products, new products, who wants to try actually new products or different types of products. And there is budget, obviously, the budget that people have to buy a specific type of product, and the word of mouth, if people get suggestion from their friends or family, then obviously they have a positive, if they have good feedback, obviously they will have a positive effect about that product, and probably they will buy that product. So we wanted to see within these six factors that we chose them based on the literature review, based on previous researchers in multiple countries such as India, Saudi Arabia, Finland, Norway, countries from both and east and western side. So we chose these six factors, and we wanted to see which of these factors actually influence more or less. So there were actually four reasons for doing this study. One, I have already said, to see which factor is most important for the consumers when they make the decision. We also wanted to see whether there is any difference between male and female consumers. We also wanted to see whether there is any difference among people from different professions and people having different educational level. So it was a cross-sectional survey. We took people whose age range was from 20 to 60 actually. As we took people from different age range, so it was a cross-sectional survey, and we selected the participants according to geographic cluster sampling. Actually, the target population was Dhaka city. So then I divided the city according to the word. Actually, it's already divided geographically. There are 93 words. Then we chose 38 words randomly. And then we chose participants from those words. So there were actually 300 participants in total. Among them, 121 were male and 179 were female. We actually took participants from four different professions: student, service holder, both government and private, housewife and business person. There were business owners, entrepreneurs, and also there were two unemployed participants. And in the education level, the lowest education level was HSC or higher secondary certificate, and the highest education level of the participants were post-graduation. They have completed post-graduation. So this was the design for the participants. And now I will explain the process of the study. Actually, it was a very long study. So I will just explain all the steps in short. So first step was creating item pool. So we wrote 26 statements based on the 6 factors that we selected. And these statements were written obviously based on the literature review based on previous studies. So these 26 statements were presented as question answer form. For example, there was a question based on the first factor, the specialized product, and then there were some statements written under it as probable answers. So in such case, the whole 26 statements were arranged, and then they were sent to 7 raters for testing reliability and validity. All of these 7 raters are from psychology background. They have completed both graduation and post-graduation from psychology, and they have been working in this field for several years. So all of them were subject matter experts. So they were asked to do actually 2 things. One was testing the content validity according to the Losch's content validity process. So in case of Losch's content validity process, they actually rated all the statements into 3 categories: essential, useful, not essential, and not necessary. So they rated all the statements according to this, and then the content validity ratio, CVR, was calculated. And they were also asked to rate the items, and we wanted to calculate the inter-rater reliability according to the percentage agreement form. So there were actually 2 options, yes or no. Do you agree that this item is essential for measuring this factor? So if they agreed, they rated yes, and if they didn't agree, they rated no. So then we calculated the inter-rater reliability. So from these 26 statements, finally, we selected 15 statements based on 2 things. The items had to actually fulfill 2 conditions. One was exceeding the content validity ratio and also having 85% inter-rater reliability. Only the items who fulfill both of these conditions, actually, we selected only those items. So then we created the questionnaire based on these final 15 items. We used the 5-point Likert type response option. And then we also added a personal information form. In that form, we asked the participant about their age, gender, profession, their level of education and address, which helped in our further analysis. So then we collected data. Data was actually collected by Google form. So we sent the Google form to almost 500 people, and among them, we got 300 complete response. So we considered only those 300 complete response, and then we analyzed the data. So first we did the factor analysis. From the factor analysis, it was also clear that there are 6 factors in this questionnaire. So it actually matches with our theoretical concept. We started the study with 6 factors in mind, and also we can see later in according to the factor analysis that yes, we have 6 factors. Though it's recommended that there should be at least 3 items in each factor, but 2 is also considerable. There are other established scales where there are only 2 items in one factor. So it didn't exceed our expectation, but it was okay considering the number of factor and the number of item, because 6 factor in only a 15-item questionnaire. So obviously we will have 2 or 1 item in some factors. So then what we did, we actually calculated the mean, the standard deviation for each of the factor, and we ranked the factor according to the preference of all the participants, all 300 participants. And so we can see that people actually give most importance to specialized products. That I explained, products made specifically for specific type of skin, hair, or for a specific reason, that means for removing black spot or for brightening skin, or for softening hair, products like this. So people actually consider most this type of products. Then people give importance to the characteristics or the quality, the ingredient of the product. People also prefer a branded product, and we can see that budget is actually quite low in the ranking. It has 5th ranking among 6 factors. So which also actually matches with the previous studies, because also in India, in Saudi Arabia, we have seen studies like the monthly income does not affect much on the consumer's decisions. People actually want to buy a quality product even if it costs more than their budget. So they are actually ready to exceed their budget or spend more money for a good product. So that's a very interesting finding actually. And then we saw if whether there is any difference between male and female consumers. So we didn't find any difference actually in 5 factors. We only found difference in 1 factor, the specialized product. And we did a T test, and we saw that yes, the mean of the female consumers are significantly greater than the male consumers. That means female consumers are actually more concerned about what the product claims to do or what the product actually does to their hair, to their skin, than male consumers. So then we wanted to see whether there is any difference among different professions. So what we saw that there actually isn't much difference. People from actually all of the profession more or less prefer the specialized product or the quality of the product. And again, we can see that budget is less important even for unemployed people, even for students. Budget is less important than the quality of the product, than the specialization of the product. So which is very interesting, because in our media, we see lots of advertisement focusing on the price. You know, 10% less, 5% 5% less, 5 taka less, this type of things. But from the study, we can see that even students who have very limited income, even housewife, even unemployed people, and overall, all the participants actually gave very less importance to budget, and they wanted a quality product. They preferred a quality product actually. So then we wanted to see whether there is any difference based on education level. So we didn't actually find any difference among people completing higher secondary, graduation, or post-graduation. So actually, there wasn't much variation in case of the educational level. Our lowest level was higher secondary, which is already quite high. If we could get participants, you know, illiterate participants, or participants from who has only completed probably primary education, and then if we can compare them with people having post-graduation or PhD or even higher degrees, then probably we would have found some difference among people having a different level of education. But in this study, we didn't find any difference. So this is actually one of the greatest limitation of the study, I would say, because we couldn't take more people, a variety of people having different levels of education. And another important thing is we didn't consider media as a factor. But we all know that media has become a very great part, very influential part of our life. So media actually, if we think about the model, consumer decision model in the beginning, so we will see that media actually influences the decision-making process a lot, the process part of the consumer decision-making, the psychological field. Media actually influences on the psychological field, the experience, even the search, the pre-purchase search and everything, but we didn't consider media, so that's another limitation. So though there are some limitations on this study, but still, there aren't actually much study in this area in Bangladesh. So this study can actually help the marketeers to design the product, the packaging, the quantity, and everything, the marketing of the product, the promotional packages, as I've already said that marketeers often focus on the price or the budget, but people actually nowadays are focusing more on the quality, the characteristics of the product, and also the positioning of the product. That means how the marketeer actually wants their product to be recognized. Do they want to be their product regarded as a cheap product, or they want their product recognized as a very quality full product, as a very good product that actually does what it claims to do. So actually these types of study, or this present study, if we know what the consumers actually want or what actually affects the consumers when they make decisions, this will actually help the marketeer in different types of things. So that's actually my presentation. Thank you all for participating, for sparing your time. And if you have any questions or comments, please ask.
Okay, thank you, Nasrin Sheila. So this is your presentation and you have presented it nicely. And we have gathered many knowledge, much more knowledge about products. Actually, you are talking about personal care products. So
Yes.
personal care products, I think there are some factors which you have already described or you have researched, and you found that only in the first position, they are considering the things or factors related to products. And in the second position, that is also related to products. And the third position is related to products. So I'd like to ask you, so whoever is using the personal care product, so is there any other factor like psychological factor or which factor influencing behind to take the decision? Is there any clue, or you actually feel that further research can get much more information on this type of research?
Yes, obviously, ma'am, there are psychological factors, as I said, in case of the branded products. Some people have loyalty for a specific brand. It doesn't matter to them whether the brand, other people like the brand or not, or whether the brand is very high in ranking, world ranking or not. They actually like the brand. And also some people uses one product because, my mother used to use this. My mother loved Lux soap. So the daughter already starts using Lux soap. No matter there are better soaps in the market nowadays, but still she prefers Lux because it reminds her of her mother's memory. And also there are socio-cultural factors such as the income of the product, the exposure that he or she has towards the products. For example, in case of super shops, giant super shops, we can find a lot of variety in the products. But outside of Dhaka, in small towns, there probably aren't much variety of the products. They probably don't get foreign products. So all of this actually influences the consumers.
Yes, actually, whatever they are using, they are used to, and they are acquainted with that products, and they feel much satisfaction compared to other same products or not same company, other companies' product. So
Yes.
I'd like to summarize your presentation. Now you have presented the paper on factors influencing consumers' decision-making for personal care product, and you have actually selected the items according to psychometrics, and your expertise on psychometrics. You have delineated all the processes very nicely, and it is good work, and your scale or your item, any researcher can use this. And if you publish this paper, then it will be helpful for other researchers to go further research, and you have actually measured reliability, validity according to psychometric tools and techniques. We know that whatever we are going to measure, we have to make it as reliable and valid measures. And you have done factor analysis also, and this is your, we can say, a very good initiative according to the presentation. And you have reviewed the literature, and you have identified all the factors related to consumers' decision. And there are 6 decision making factors, like specialized products, or there are not only specialized products, characteristics of product, expensiveness or branded products, and new products, budget, and at last we can see the social factor. Somebody is listening or learning from others, and this is one type of important factor, of course, although it's not prior factor or prime factor. So it is included in your research, and it is good initiative. And whatever you have found, that this is very, we can say, useful data to refer for further research. And that's why we are looking forward that your research will initiate other researchers to do same thing. Okay, thank you. And floor is open for audiences. Please, if you have any question, you feel free to ask. I think there is nobody, so we can actually conclude this session. And thank you, Nasrin Sheila, for your nice presentation again.
Thank you, ma'am. And thank you to Enroute. Thank you to the Second International Biopsychology Conference for giving me this opportunity to present my paper.
Thank you, Sheila, for presenting your nice work with us. Do you have any questions? Participants, do you have any queries regarding this paper? If you don't have, then we can end this session here. We have our chairperson, Professor Dr. Hamida Akhtar Begum, with us. Ma'am, would you like to share something with us?
No, thank you. I missed the presentation, actually. I was late. So I don't have anything to comment on it, as I was not present here.
Okay, ma'am. No issues. We have another presentation on 11:45. Our next research topic is body shaming workplace effect on employee job satisfaction of local and multinational companies of Bangladesh, which will be presented by Muntaha Mahfuz Tofa, Principal Officer, Walton. So we can take a short break here, and I would like to request our audience to be with us for the next presentation. Thank you, Sheila, for your nice presentation.
Thank you again, everyone. Please be happy, please stay safe. This is not a good time for us, so I'm taking leave now.
All of our participants, we have Professor Dr. Hamida Akhtar Madam with us. She is the honorable chairman of this conference. Now we'd like to start our next session, which is a research paper, another research paper presentation. The topic is body shaming at workplace, effect on employee job satisfaction of local and multinational companies of Bangladesh, which will be presented by Muntaha Mahfuz Tofa. She is the principal officer from Walton. So Tofa, the floor is yours.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone, for giving me this opportunity. I'm really grateful for this. And good morning, everyone, and assalamu alaikum. I'm going to present my research paper. Please give me some time, and I'm going to share my research paper. Hopefully, it is visible. The topic of my research was body shaming at workplace, effect on employee job satisfaction of local and multinational companies of Bangladesh. And to do this research, my honorable supervisor, Mohammad Selim Hossain sir, was my guide, and he was the co-author of our research paper. And without his guidance, it was impossible to make this happen, to make this research to give a great result. So I'm going to start to present our research paper. So basically the main topic was body shaming. And I want to explain the term. Body shaming is a term that has become all too popular. All too popular recently, because humans are obsessed with appearances. For an individual, it is rare to be fully confident in their body. There is something about their body image or appearance that they wish they could change. It happens for some reason. One of the strongest reasons is body shaming. The action or practice of humiliating someone by making mocking or critical comments about their body shape or size and appearance is called body shaming. Body shaming is linked with body image dissatisfaction. People who are repeatedly victim of body shaming can suffer from body dysmorphic disorder. Body dysmorphic disorder is a serious mental illness in which individuals worry excessively about imagined or very slight appearance defects. Body dysmorphic disorder is classified as an obsessive compulsive related disorder in the DSM-5 as the pattern of obsessions and compulsions. Similarities to the phenomenology of obsessive compulsive disorder, and the research was conducted by Phillips et al. In 2010. People who are the victim of body shaming often suffer from eating disorder. Eating disorders are some of the most common psychiatric problems and are classified as anorexia nervosa and bulimia nervosa. And it was mentioned in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, 4th edition. People do harmful practices while being body shamed, such as extreme dieting, which is not healthy at all in any cases, excessive exercise, which can lead to severe physical problems, using harmful and unauthorized medicines to lose or gain weight, which can cause internal or external physical damage in the long run. Use fairness creams, which contains harmful chemicals and can cause severe skin problems or damage. Go to under operations to get the perfect body image, which leads to death sometimes and cause unhealthy living. Taking laser treatments, which is not safe in all cases at all. Research shows that body shaming has severe effect on employees' job satisfaction, and the research was conducted by Charnin in 1983. It may imbalance employees' work-life balance to cause unhealthy family relationships, create distance between the relationship of co-workers. Workers and employees judge each other according to their physical appearance, which cause unhealthy relationship within workplace. Sometimes it can cause harassment at workplace too. It can cause gender discrimination at workplace on basis of physical appearance, which affect the working conditions. Severe level of body shaming at workplace can go like sexual abuse as well. One study conducted on the role of social physique anxiety and social appearance anxiety in the body checking behaviors of male and female college students, and the research was conducted by White in 2013. Another study was to see how media portrayed idealized images, body shame and appearance anxiety, and the study was conducted by Fiona and Gale in 2005. The objective of our study was to see whether body shaming exists at workplace or not, and to which extent. to see whether there is any effect of body shaming on employee job satisfaction of local and multinational companies of Bangladesh, investigate whether there is any difference of employee job satisfaction as an effect of body shaming between local and multinational companies. The rationale of our study was doing body shaming within working environment is considered as an ill practice. Excessive practice of body shaming at workplace can go to abusive behavior. This research may make an awareness on this sector. It will help the supervisors, managers, and HR department of any company to take a step against body shaming at workplace. It will also help them to appoint industrial organizational psychologists to work on the victim employees' mental health. Also, industrial organizational psychologists can use this study as a reference to initiate counseling or other programs on body shaming at workplace and to improve job satisfaction. Besides, in Bangladesh, there is no study conducted yet on body shaming at workplace, which can be an initial step to think and work further on this. Focusing on the issue of body shaming at workplace will add more value to the improvement of working environment. The participants of this study was 120. 120 participants were selected from 5 local companies and 5 multinational companies covering age range from 25 to 35 years old. There were 60 participants, 30 male and 30 female were from local company, and 60 participants, 30 male and 30 female from multinational companies. From each local company, there were 6 male participants and 6 female participants. And from each multinational company, there were 6 male participants and 6 female participants. The participants were selected by using convenient sampling technique. Their physical and mental condition was normal, and all of them belonged to middle socioeconomic status. The participants were selected from 5 different local companies, and those were ACI, Bengal Group, Partex Group, Square Group, Akis Group. The participants were selected from 5 different multinational companies were Uniqlo, British American Tobacco, Nestle, Unilever, and Ruby Asiata. The apparatus were used, one personal information form, a questionnaire was used containing some questions to take the personal information about the participant, which was confidential. The PIF used to identify the participant's gender, age, type of workplace they are working on, and 2 questions to identify whether the employee is a body shaming victim or not, and to identify whether body shaming is one of the reasons of their job dissatisfaction or not. It was the PIF, that means personal information form. There were 5 questions, and it was the job satisfaction scale. The second apparatus was job satisfaction scale, developed by Ward, Cook and Wall in 1979. The scale comprised of 15 items for measuring total job satisfaction, and there was 1 additional item for measuring overall job satisfaction. Respondents were required to express their satisfaction or dissatisfaction concerning each item using a 7-point scale, ranging from extremely dissatisfied 1 to extremely satisfied 7. Here is the example, and the Bangla version of the job satisfaction scale was developed by Khalik in 1990 and was put to a pilot test by author Ward et al. In 1979. Piloting was done in 2 schools other than the selected sample schools. The pilot test suggested modifications of few words or phrases. The study will be conducted. The study was conducted using cross-sectional survey design, and the procedure was to conduct this study. A data collection sheet was made containing personal information form and job satisfaction scale. The data were collected through online by giving the Google form link direct onto the participants' Facebook inbox and email. Before providing the link, permission was taken from them, telling them if they are interested and have enough time on their hand to determine whether they are willing to participate in this study or not. They filled up the questions of personal information form and then put tick mark on the skills according to the statements, what they feel about themselves and their job. After filling up the form, they were thanked and the data of the participants were collected using Excel sheet automatically. The data analysis was conducted by descriptive analysis and independent sample test t-test using SPSS. From results, we can see the total number and percentage of body shaming victim employees and non-victim employees of local companies. We can see from the result table, it is shown that the 70% employees are victim of body shaming and the 25% employees are non-victim of body shaming in local companies. And from this table, we are showing the total number and percentage of body shaming victim employees and non-victim employees of multinational companies. From the result table, it is shown that the 63.33% employees are victim of body shaming and the 36.67% employees are non-victim of body shaming in multinational companies. It is the comparison between male and female employees of local companies. From the result, it is shown that 35.5% male employees are victim of body shaming and the 64.44% female employees are non-victim of body shaming in local companies. The percentage of female victim is higher in the local companies, we can see from the result table. This is the comparison between male and female of multinational companies, and from result table we can see that 31.58% male employees and 68.42% female employees are non-victim of body shaming in multinational companies. The percentage of female victim is higher in multinational companies as local companies. From this table, we can see employee job satisfaction of the victim who responded that body shaming is one of the reasons of their job satisfaction of local and multinational companies. This question was mentioned in personal information form. From the result table, it is seen that the mean of employee job satisfaction for the victims of local company is 48 and multinational company is 52. Here, the rate of employee job satisfaction of the victim of local company is lower than the victim of multinational company. That means we can see the local company is lower than multinational company. It is higher in multinational company. But the mean is to indicate that the satisfaction rate is below average in both victim employees of local and multinational company. This is the t-test to see the difference of employee job satisfaction of body shaming of local and multinational companies. The result of the independent samples t-test showed that there is no significant difference of job satisfaction between the body shaming victim employees of local and multinational companies, because the significant value of job satisfaction scale for both local and multinational company employees is more than 0.05, where t-value of employee job satisfaction for both local and multinational company is 0.061. There were some limitations of this study. As mentioned, that body shaming is a kind of mental state which can be vary from person to person. For this reason, qualitative research on this will be more effective to identify precise results. There is no direct measuring scale on body shaming. Another one was time limitation. It was a barrier. And if more participants can be taken, it would be more precise. Thank you, everyone. It was all. If there is any question, please feel free to ask.
Can I ask a question?
Sure, ma'am.
How did you determine body shaming? I have seen some questions that I couldn't read the items clearly. So how did you determine who are the victims of body shaming?
It was determined using personal information form. I am going to show this. It was the question number 5.
Question number 5 is not clear. First, you have to mention about what is body shaming, right?
Yes, it was explained in this introduction.
Okay. All right.
বা ওয়াশিং মেশিন থেকে কোন একটা কাপড় তুলেও নিতে পারবেন, কোনো সমস্যা নেই।
Another comment, you are working in a work situation, you don't have any control over the work situation, right?
Yes.
Some people are working there, they are making noise, right? So can you not do anything to request them to allow you, because you are participating in an international conference and your colleagues, it is very normal that they would cooperate with you.
Yes.
Did you try?
ওয়াশিং মেশিন ব্যবহারের গুরুত্বপূর্ণ
Can you please ask me the question? There was network problem and I can't hear.
Try to, did you try to request them not to make any noise when you are presenting your paper?
বলবেন যে সারা ম্যাডাম প্লিজ এই পয়েন্টগুলো ভালো করে বলে রাখুন।
Actually, I am in the place right now and here is no one beside me. But actually, I am joining from my office. That's why there is some noise from other floor also. It
So
was
you don't
coming
have
from.
control over the noise, right?
Yes, I don't have any control because this is the office floor and it was coming from another portion, but there is no one beside me.
So you don't have any scope of privacy in your workplace?
I am joining from my own desk. I have privacy.
Okay,
actually.
I understand. So can you explain why body shaming is more in case of multinational companies compared to the local companies? What explanation do you have?
Actually, I want to do further research on this, which question you are asking me right now. Because if I think there is a reason behind culture, the cultural practice, the norms they practice in multinational company. Maybe this can be a cause, but I can't tell this without any precise research, without doing any research.
You didn't do any probing kind of interview, in-depth interview or probing or anything. What are your suggestions to understand your, to explain your findings better?
Can you please ask me the question once again?
I said that what you intend to do in order to understand the findings that you have come up with in this particular study, better understand the findings.
Okay, I can provide this answer using the rationale of this study, and it can be helpful if we can use this research result to remove this bad practice from our workplace and to avoid them.
The reason I am asking this question is that I thought that it would be less in case of multinational companies compared to the local ones. Okay, because if you say that it's a matter of culture, then quality of culture, if you keep in your mind, how does it differ in case of between the two, that is the local companies and the multinational companies?
Yes, I want to do further research and I want to conduct a qualitative research on this. In that case, I can do interviewing from the participants and I do the probing, and from qualitative research, we can identify the actual feelings, what participants are feeling on this regard.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Taha Mahfouz. And there is one question from audience. So, Pratasha Bhattacharya, she asked that, why did you select the age range from 25 to 35?
Okay, I want from the previous research of body shaming, there is no direct research was conducted there. But from previous research, I have seen that the social appearance anxiety, you can see from my literature review, I'm showing this. From literature review, you can see that the previous research was conducted from young adults. The participants were young adults, so I thought we can do the same kind of research in local and multinational companies. That's why I wanted to select the age range from 25 to 35 to covering the participants as young adults.
প্রথম কথা
Okay, thank you, Mahfuza. So you have presented the paper. Topic is body shaming at workplace, effect on employees' job satisfaction of local and multinational companies in Bangladesh. So according to your presentation, we have gathered the knowledge about body shaming, and you have already mentioned there are some disorder that is related to body dysphoric disorder, and there are some body related disorder like bulimia and that is called
Bulimia
anorexia
nervosa,
nervosa.
anorexia
Yes.
nervosa.
And so these are the topic you have included, and you have found that there is no significant difference according to your findings. There is no significant difference in local and multinational companies. According to the body shaming and their job satisfaction, we have already gathered this knowledge, and thank you for your presentation. So I'd like to ask you about that. So you have asked, there are 5 questions already. Professor Dr. Hamida Akhtar Begum Madam has asked you, and please go to this question. So question number 5 and 4. Okay. There are actually question is actually this is multifaceted.
Yes.
One part is regarding the satisfaction, another part is body shaming. So I think there are some actually technique or tools according to psychometric. So you can divide the question and ask clear question. So you will get the more actually refined data from your participants.
Okay.
This is my opinion.
Thank you for this suggestion.
Thank you for your presentation.
Sorry, Afra, may I add another?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, please.
You have taken job satisfaction into consideration, but what was the relationship? What was the association between the two variables, body shaming and job satisfaction? What were your findings? I'm not clear about it.
From question number 5, people responded that where they ever faced body shaming behavior at their workplace or not. From question number 5, they responded it. And by using that data, the people who were responded, yes, they were once body shaming victim, or they are facing this kind of body shaming behavior. I took those data and compare for t-test.
What kind of statistics or statistical analysis did you use
t-test
in relating body shaming with job satisfaction? What kind of analysis did you do?
Actually, there was not any kind of statistical analysis with body shaming and job satisfaction. It was only descriptive data using to see the comparison between
I think
local and
that is
multinational.
an
Yes.
that is an important lapse in your research.
Yes.
Since you have taken into, you must have some rationale behind it, isn't it?
Yes.
That satisfaction will be lower or higher or whatever,
Yes.
what is the connection between these two variables that you have to work on individually. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for the suggestion.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, Muntaha, for your presentation, and we will hope that you will work on this again.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
বিশেষ করে ওয়াশিং মেশিনে পাওয়ার ফ্যাক্টর হচ্ছে 0.5 দেন এখন আমরা মান
I think if any audience can ask question, okay. If there isn't any question, please ask. I think there is no question. Okay, thank you, Muntaha, again.
Okay, ma'am, thank you.
We can end this session.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. Take care and stay safe.
Hello, everyone. We have enjoyed another excellent presentation. And we are going to start our next presentation from 12:35. It will be presented by Jannatul Elmi Suchana. Hope Jannatul Elmi is with us already. The next topic for our research paper is halo effect on pitch of voice. we'll take a short break and we'll start it from 12:35 p.m. Okay, welcome everyone. We are going to start our next research paper presentation. It will be on halo effect on pitch of voice, which will be delivered by Jannatul Elmi Suchona. She is the Senior Executive HR and Admin, RKC Ramins. Okay, Suchona, you can start now.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. And thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to present my research paper in front of you. Though I was in the middle of the meeting, but I am really eager and interested to show you my paper. Let's start without any delay. I should share my screen right now, right?
Yeah, Suchana, you can start, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm really sorry for this inconvenience. Without any further delay, I'm just ready to prepare to present my presentation. My paper's topic was halo effect on tone of voice. I was supervised by Muhammad Syed Tanveer Rahman sir, my associate professor of Department of Psychology, University of Dhaka. Well, I think there is no control of mine over this presentation slides, right?
Yes, you can just tell next. Then I hope Mushfiq bhai will help you.
Okay, sure. So what is halo effect? I just want to let you know that we all know the term halo effect. It's a type of cognitive bias where impressions formation in one area influences opinions in other areas. At first point, I just see someone and first impression is something. Whenever we see or hear from someone on just basis of some specific areas like height, weight, figure, body, skin tone, or pitch of voice, we expect that that person is good or bad, or we actually formate an impression on basis of that. So first, Edward Thorndike in 1920 has coined the term halo effect, and he had I'm not getting into the literature review much because it will take more time. So he experimented on some soldiers on basis of their heights and weights. We all know who are sports guy or army person or in militaries, their physical fitness is much better than us. So on basis of that, we all expect that they are bold, they have leadership qualities, they are living healthy lifestyle, they don't have any mental stresses that much or at all. So there are some measures of attractiveness like height, weight, dress up, skin tone, voice, profession, eye color, etc. I am just presenting the pitch of voice today. So let me show you some examples, or I guess I just move on to the slide from where I started my experiment. These are some examples, just I'm not taking much long time on explaining this. May I move on to next slide? Well, this was my previous experiment, which I have conducted in my BSc honors, halo effect on dress color. I found 80% of the university students, our university students from first year to master's class, who belongs to first year to master's class, chose the bright colored dressed person as carrying better personal characteristics and healthier lifestyles, though both pictures belong to the same person. Just on basis of their dress color, they just assume that the brighter color is more having more leadership quality or having better lifestyle. These are the examples, actually. I wanted to show you our Tanvir sir, our Selim sir. So just on basis of these photographs, we assume they're strong, they're very much jolly-minded, or extrovert, stubborn, just basis of photo, or just by listening their voice, we assume so much, which cannot be true in some extent always. Recently, Harvard University's psychology department has found research that males with deep voices or low-pitched tones and females with high-pitched tones are considered as more attractive than others. So these are actually my independent variables for this paper. Next slide, please. Some journals have also shown the same thing. Next slide, please. I'm not going to explain this that much. So next slide, please. We don't have much time, I guess. Well, my thesis questions were whether low-pitched voices, which we already have told that low-pitched male voices and high-pitched female voices are considered as attractive tones. So actually, they're considered as attractive tones or not, and whether the attractive tones, just by listening to the pitch of voices, people actually assume that they're having more positive personal characteristics than others or not. I just was curious to know that. So my hypothesis was ratings of low-pitched male voices and high-pitched female voices would be higher than the counterparts, and so would be the considered attractive ones. As defined, attractive voices would be assumed having more positive personality characteristics than their counterparts. My independent variables were, I have selected two types of voice clips. Voice one was for attractive voice clips were defined by low-pitched voice for male voice clips and high-pitched voice for female voice clips, and unattractive voice clips were defined as voice clip number 2, which were high-pitched voice clips for male and low-pitched voice clips for female. And dependent variable was halo effect. So 60 participants, 30 males and 30 females were selected for this experiment. I know I should have engaged more participants here, but that was a very limited time, and I just collected 60 participants. They didn't have any sort of hearing problems. The participants were selected using convenient sampling technique. Next slide, please. So here's the procedure. As we all know, we first have to listen to the voice clips, then we have to measure which are attractive or unattractive one or that. So I have used 4 voice clips, high and low pitched male voices, high and low pitched female voices, and I let the participants listen to the voice clips via my mobile phone. So the pitch of voices, high and low, were controlled by, were manipulated by voice manipulation system from a radio studio called Colors FM. So if I move on to my result, frequency and percentages were chi-square were calculated and graphical representations were shown to describe the experimental findings. Before showing you my result, I just want you to know the procedure I followed to do the experiment. At first, I welcomed my participants and let them listen to my voice clips. First, I let them listen to my male voice clips, high pitched and low pitched. Then I asked them to mark the voice clips on basis of their fondness or attractiveness from 1 to 10. They they just marked the voice clips as they like it or not. So they just gave marking to high pitched voice and low pitched voice from the scale from 1 to 10 individually for male voice clips, and as alike female voice clips. So that was the first procedure. After marking on basis of their feeling of attractiveness towards those voice clips, they were shown 6 positive personality characteristics list: leadership, boldness, well-paid, healthy lifestyle. 6 positive personality characteristics were defined by our departmental experts. So experts were engaged to define these 6 positive personality characteristics, and then I have shown my participants those characteristics and asked them if they feel what actually they feel, which voice clip is having these personality characteristics. Like, do you feel high pitched tone is having these characteristics, or low pitched tone is having this all positive personality characteristics? They actually gave tick mark for each characteristic on basis of high or low pitched tones. So if I show you the results, you can see that frequency percentages of choosing voice clip 1 as is more attractive and higher, because voice 1 in case of male voice 1, which means low pitched male voice tone, is definitely marked or definitely were marked higher than the voice clip number 2, which is unattractive voice. And actually totally same result were shown in case of female voice clips. Voice clip 1, which is attractive one, were marked higher than the voice clip number 2. Next slide, please. So this is the average ratings of attractiveness of voice 1 and 2. If you see the table, though it's actually very small, I don't know you are going through it clearly or not. Ratings of attractiveness is much higher in case of voice 1 for both male and female voice clips. And for male voice clip number 1, average rating of male participants was 8.53 and female participants was 8.40, or it means there was no discrimination or difference in the result on basis of our participants' gender. Everyone, regardless male or female, marked the first voice clip higher than the second one. And I like this for female voice clips. The same results were shown. Participants were marked 7.7 out of 10 or 7.67 out of 10, regardless their gender. They voted for the first voice clip, which seems attractive to them. So as we said that after marking from 1 to 10, we gave them 6 positive personality characteristics and asked them in which voice clip was on 1 or 2 for both male and female. They found those characteristics are basically vibrant. The 6 characteristics, we call them positive characteristics, are leadership, cleanliness, active, empathetic, obedience, and bold voice. So I'm showing you bar diagrams. Next slide, please. I have used chi-square method and the bar diagram to show you more precisely the result. In case of leadership, cleanliness, activity, or energy, you can see from the slide that the blue bars are higher in every sector, or in case of every characteristic. That means our participants, regardless their male and female, regardless their gender, everyone actually marked higher or say that leadership is prominent, cleanliness is prominent, activeness is prominent in blue diagrams, means voice clip number 1, which was assumed attractive. Voice clip number 1 was low pitch voice for male and high pitch voice for female, and we assumed them attractive ones. So blue diagrams, voice clip number 1s are always were always ranked higher than the green diagrams or voice clip number 2, and our chi-square results are shown below. So there were the chi-square results results have shown that there are no every result is beyond 0.05. So they show that there are no significant differences in case of participants' gender in giving their marking or their result, or their freedom of choice. So these are the same thing. The other 3 characteristics are empathetic, obedience, and bold voice. You can see the blue diagrams are higher rather than the green ones, but the middle of the presentation, you can see the bar, which is actually pretty alike, or there is no blue or green indicator there, because in case of obedience, male and female participants both have considered voice clip number 1 is actually having the obedience character rather than the 2. So there is a totally, the value is for voice clip number 2 is totally 0. So this is the bar here for that. So that was the result. And if I sum up, I do not have much time left, I guess. So if I sum up, we can see that my hypothesis was low pitch voice for males and high pitch voice for females would be assumed more attractive than the high pitched male voices and low pitched female voices. So my hypothesis, first hypothesis, is actually totally proven by the result. And if I go for my second hypothesis, it was also actually proven, because my second hypothesis was all the 6 personality characteristics, which are called positive personality characteristics, would be more prominent or vibrant in voice clip number 1, which are attractive ones. So that was also proven by our participants, or my result. So I can use this finding, I guess, in terms of who are actually pretty much engaged in coaching, counseling, radio jockeys, marketing, politics, advocacy, or other sectors, or in terms of hiring as well. I am working in HR and admin section in Araky Ceramics Bangladesh Limited. So in terms of recruitment, we also use, we are not pretty much indifferent from the result. Our HR head, he already has gone through my result. So he is now a bit aware of the thing that they are pretty much biased by the first look, or before going to look, we always call the participants or call the shortlisted CV candidates and ask them and and say hi, hello, go through some questions. So their bold voice or their low or high pitched tones are quite effective to their recruitmental process. So if they are aware, and voice is something we cannot change it totally, but there are some voice exercises. If we go through that, we can improve, or we can improve our way of talking. We can improve our which tone should be used in while we communicate with others via phone or voice texting. If we are aware of the thing, I think it would be fruitful for them to get a better career, I guess. So that's it, everyone. I'm so sorry if I mismanaged something. So stop judging and being wrong. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jannatul Suchona. And floor is open for question. And before giving floor open, I'd like to summarize your presentation. So Jannatul Suchona has presented the topic, which is halo effect on tone of voice. So according to her presentation, she has described the halo effect, and she has taken some experimental situation with the tone of voice, and she found that there is no male female differences, is it? And
Right.
she female with high pitch and male with low pitch are more attractive, and in the field of IO psychology, and there are some application on this of this term and of this halo effect, and we know it is very important in the workplace, and that's why your finding is more important to us according to IO psychologists. Now I'd like to open the floor to ask question to her, to our presenter. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You can write also the question on chat box. Okay, I'd like to ask one question. So
Sure.
there is the difference between attractiveness on the basis of tone of voice for male low pitch and female high pitch. So what is the reason behind this? Can you tell us some point?
Okay, I think low pitched, if anyone watching me here are aware of pitch of voice, I just want you to know low pitched male voices are heard by us quite boldly, like, you know, bold voices, Asaduzzaman Noor, you know, Kamal Mustafa, you know, who talk like this. Hey, how are you? Are you fine? So these are the voices of males who are having low pitched tones, rather than high pitched male voices would be seem quite feminine to us. You know, like hi, quite soft, quite you know, feminine category. That's why I guess in terms, we do have a personal choice of selecting bold and strong and, you know, tall dark category males. We prefer them more, or we think they are much more attractive than the other ones. If so, in terms of female voice pitch, why this is different, why high pitched tones are seemed more attractive. High pitched tones means Shreya Ghoshal, you know, Sabina Yasmin, hello, how are you? It seems more, you know, melodious. It will soothe your ear. High pitched female tones are like that. So, and low pitched female tones are like, you know, it is like the bold male ones. Hi, hey, you know, like that. So for female category, we actually prefer more feminine totally opposite of that, more feminine, more melodious, more soothing, which will, in terms of meditation as well. Ma'am, you are a psychologist. In terms of meditation, we always prefer, high-pitched female voices, which will soothe. Aram kore bosho, ebar aste aste dom nao. Rather than this, if we say, aram kore bosho, aste aste dom nao, so that will not suit your ear, or you cannot go to that imaginary satisfaction. So this is the universal truth. But apart from that, pitch of voice is something you cannot have total control over it, but you can have some vocal exercises. As I'm a professional voiceover artist as well, I do work in radio, so I can give some 2 tips. Our parents or guardians or ancestors always say that সকাল বেলা উঠে এরকম করো গলা সুন্দর হবে. So actually this is not a total lie. Even when I have started my show in radios, I do have a not totally high pitched tone, but and also not totally low pitched one, but a bold one, actually not that much melodious. So I had to practice so that my voice can be clear and can be understandable from the viewer and from the listener. And also I do also work on my jaws, my chin, or this actually seems funnier, but this helps a lot to pronounce clearly, to do better in conversations.
Okay. Thank you, Jannatul, for your many information. And one question is from Dr. Mohammad Anwar Hussain. So studied the participants' age range. Actually, I think he missed it, that you have mentioned that age range was 22 years to 27 years.
7 years old.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
I have a comment to make.
Please, madam.
Please, ma'am.
It was interesting. The presentation was interesting, and I congratulate the presenter for that. But I have some concerns. Attractiveness is all right, but halo effect, that has a deeper meaning. So did you consider that? That is one thing. You may think about it later on. Another thing is, you were not mentioning the cultural factors. I have seen in North America, say for example, for women, they prefer husky voice compared to the voice of Lata Mangeshkar, which is so sweet for us in our culture. But I heard my friends over there commenting on her voice that it sounds like the voice of a child. Okay, so cultural aspect is another factor that you may use, to in your future research along this line. And also keep in mind that halo effect has a deeper meaning compared to the attractiveness. So far as attractiveness is concerned, is fine. But in your title, it is halo effect. So that sounds a little bit, difficult for me to accept.
Okay, I need to specify more, narrow down the term, I guess. Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable concern. And yes, cultural on basis of cultural context, it actually varies. And I just did my experiment on our university students in Bangladesh context, engaging youth participants, and I will do more research on that and will add some value to your deeper meaning of halo effect in my further researches, I guess. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for your nice comments or valuable comments. So if there is no question, we'd like to conclude the session. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you, Suchana. Thank you for your nice presentation and then on an interesting topic. So we would like to thank all of our participants, attendants who are there with us from the very beginning of this session of research presentation. So I would like to let you know that we had another presentation from 2 p.m. but unfortunately she is not well. She is COVID positives. We had this paper on brand loyalty and factors affecting cosmetics buying behavior of Bangladeshi consumers. But unfortunately, as she is COVID positive, we had to cancel that presentation. And now I would like to request all of you to come back to have a lunch break and come back on 2:45 as we have our next session from 2:50. Which is on paper, which is another research paper presentation. The topic is shared leadership disciplines for high performing team, the problem and prospects of shared leadership team coaching in Bangladesh, which will be presented by Shabnam Mustari. I think all of you will be there. Till then, bye for now. Thank you.